The Film Crickets are intended for mature audiences. Any guests on the Film Crickets do not necessarily share the same opinions as the Film Crickets.
Film Crickets, chirping about movies.
It's time for the Film Crickets with Jay Fortier, Chris Martineau, and Melanie Howerton. On this week's episode, the Crickets' good friend Jordan from Can't Buy Me 80s stops by the show, and Jay, Chris, Melanie, and Jordan review the 1987 American romantic comedy film, Mannequin.
I'm stressed. I'm having a hallucination caused by stress.
Does this feel like an hallucination? Come on, let's go have some fun.
Food additives. It's food additives.
Does it stand the test of time? Let's find out. Your Film Crickets are on now.
I love the, before we introduce ourselves and all that, I love the high pitch that he uses. Food additives.
Yeah.
I know, I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's so great. Food additives. It's so cool. In that New York accent.
Yeah.
In Philly.
Yeah. Well, it's close enough. It's right over the river.
Yeah. It might have been, was it set in Philly? Yeah, it was set.
Yeah.
All right. So, welcome everybody. My name is Jay Fortier. This is the Film Crickets, and I'm hanging out with my good friend Chris Martineau. How you doing?
Hello. What's happening?
Hey. Not much. And also my good friend and co-host, Melanie Howerton.
Hi, how you doing?
All right. So we watched Mannequin this week. Part 2, On the Move. No,
what? Jesus God Almighty.
Could you imagine?
Oh, fucking terrible.
No, like how awful would it be like if one of us thought that was the plan?
Yeah.
That was the first one that I actually saw.
Oh, yeah?
Ugh.
Yeah, and then I was like, I didn't know that was like the second one. I don't know.
Yeah. And so like your first one was the second one?
Yeah, I was going through my whole Christy Swanson phase. I was watching everything she was in, so I was like, Mannequin 2. I don't care if it's the second one or whatever. And
Right.
But I prefer
Who doesn't go through their Christy Swanson phase? I mean, we all have gone. We all been there. We've all drank from that horn. I don't even know what I'm saying. All right.
No, but like one of us that had never seen Mannequin, they accidentally watched the second one.
Oh, God.
Guess I can't be involved, guys. I'll just listen.
Yeah.
No, but anyways, we watched Mannequin from 1987. Chris?
Yes.
Why don't you roll on and ask us our history?
Oh, you're not going to introduce the guest?
Oh, I am so sorry. You know what? Hey, I'm so excited about Mannequin.
Oh, my God. Don't worry about it, Jordan. It's fine.
I'm so sorry.
We'll get you caught up.
You know what? You know what that means? That means she's such a good friend to the show that she needs no introduction. No, I'm just kidding. Well, my apologies, Jordan.
So introduce her.
No, I did.
I
said, Jordan, welcome.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so
Thank
sorry.
you for coming.
This is like, if I had a sound effect right now of a car accident, I'd be playing it right now.
We're taking a stroll on Awkward Street. Hello, Jordan. Welcome back. I'm glad you're here. How are things in Northern Maryland?
They're good. I mean, we once had a day where it was snowing. The following day, it was 72 degrees.
Yep.
So I don't know what happened there.
Yep. It was a wind chill of
Georgia.
wind chill of 15, and then Friday was 80 degrees. It was crazy pants.
It was crazy.
I don't know what the hell's going on around here, but it's nuts. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic.
Winter weather.
Yeah, it's just, New England cold every day. We get this weird thing in between. You're not sure if it's going to be 10 or 80. It's like having malaria. So, hey, look, we watched, it's cold, it's hot, it's cold, it's hot. So we watched Mannequin, and I'm going to go around and see what our history is with this movie, as we are wont to do. I will, if you don't mind, I will start first on Mannequin. And the reason I'm going to start first on Mannequin is the only reason I watched Mannequin is I at the time, 1987, I had a crush on Kim Cattrall because she was in Big Trouble in Little China. And my brother and I would pine after Kim Cattrall or Cattrall or however it is that you say it. Now, since that movie, since Mannequin, I kind of shed that crush again, 13, 14 years old. So that was not long lived, but so since then I haven't seen a millisecond of Sex in the City. I haven't really seen anything else that she's done. It's not that I don't like her. I just haven't had the impetus to actually watch any of the stuff, but I do recognize, oh wait, sorry, she's in Police Academy, but I only saw that after Big Trouble in Little China and Mannequin. Having said that, I watched Mannequin back in the day. I remember it. I believe I had a pirated copy of Mannequin that I watched with my friends several times. It wasn't in high rotation, but I do recall seeing it many times. In that, I thought it was funny. You know, I just thought it was a goofy romp, not unlike Police Academy, is just a kind of a goofy romp of absolutely bananas plotline that this movie is. I mean, it's out of control, silly. So there's that. So I'm going to go left to right. So Jordan, you are next. So what's your deal with Mannequin?
So I ended up watching the second one first.
That's
and then
unfortunate.
I saw the first one. And then I ended up watching the first one. It's one of my, I'd like to say it's one of my favorite 80s movies.
Okay.
I don't have a poster yet for it, but I'm looking for the poster.
Okay.
And then years later, I ended up seeing it with one of my good friends. And then later on, I think I rewatched it again.
Okay.
And then over the summer, I went to go visit where they shot part of the interior scenes at the Macy's in Philly with one of my good friends. And it was just really cool. And I wore like my whole Emmy outfit. I was wearing all pink with like the pink hat and everything.
Can you, Jordan?
So I really like the movie.
Jordan, I have a question. Obviously, you have kind of like this is your gig, your thing, like your '80s kind of vibe and fashion and hair and all that. And I'm on board. Now you must have a lot of '80s outfits, I imagine, right?
Yes, my whole wardrobe is all
okay.
80s.
So can you switch between them as quickly as Kim Cattrall does in this movie? I'm just curious. With all new hair and makeup and all that. Okay, because that was impressive. Like she's pulling some Superman shit, like going in the phone booth and like suddenly switching and from one thing to another to another. But
it was crazy.
I know, but she's magical. So you know it's okay. All right, so you dug it, and you watched 2 first, which is unfortunate, and then you watched this one. All right, Jason, what's your deal?
I saw it in the theater.
I did not see it in the theater. I did not say that. I did not see this movie in the theater.
In fact, I saw it twice, I think.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Big Matt Gottlieb fan. All right.
No, I really enjoyed it. It was fun. And of course, I joined you on the Kim Cattrall,
bandwagon
admiration.
Yep.
And I can't, it was, but it wasn't the only reason. I just liked every aspect of it back then, because it was just like, it was we'll get more into it, but there's not a lot of light fare like today.
Sure.
That's like this.
Yeah.
This is an easy swallow. Like you could just put this on and not worry too much. Too much.
Right.
A little bit like, here and there, but we'll get into that too. But it's real simple. You don't have to like, oh, I wonder if this is a little too edgy, like in all these directions. So it's pretty simple and I liked it.
Okay. And Bray, Jay, that brings me up to a point that I'm going to bring up here right before we get into the IMDb breakdown, but remind me after I get to Melanie about this point. All right. Melanie, what's your deal with Mannequin? You own it, right? Or your mother owns it, or what's the deal?
I actually don't, which is cool. We used to. We had it on VHS a long time ago. But I don't remember where I first saw it, but I remember always liking it. And it was just, again, I watched movies with my mom all the time, and it was just something that, we always watched together. So I've seen it a billion times. I was actually trying to get my kids to see it, and then I couldn't find it anywhere at one point. I just couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah, it's not an easy find. I don't see it on any TV. Not. I've not ever seen this on TV.
Well,
that's why you got to be like me and buy the VHS.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Breaks. You have a VCR?
Yeah, I have a VCR.
Oh my God.
And then that's when one of my good friends, he was like, "Oh yeah, I really like Mannequin." I'm like, "Why don't I just buy it on eBay?" And then so I bought it on eBay, and then we watched it on the VCR.
Wow.
So awesome. Have a VHS of Mannequin.
When will the Laserdisc come into your life? Is the real question. The big giant
I don't
platter.
know. They're too big. Like I'm more of a cassette person than a vinyl. And I think Laserdiscs, they're just really bulky.
All right.
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe in the future, but they're kind of expensive.
Yeah, they are because it's nostalgia, right? So and by the way, nobody makes them, right? So the fact that they're not made anymore is what brings it its value, right? All right, so so Melanie saw it, she likes it, has no recollection of having a VHS. Or you had a VHS, and who knows where it is now. Probably with Jordan, it made it from one yard sale to another yard sale to another yard sale, and she bought it for a dime on somebody's front lawn. Okay,
got it on eBay.
Yeah.
Autographed on the back, it says Melanie.
With best wishes.
Well, it would say Melanie Silvernail.
Yeah, right. So to Jay's point, before I get into it, and I don't know, just an observation, and I just thought of it, and I'm going to say it again. As I teach high school, so I deal with teenagers from 9th to 12th grade. And Jay, you brought up a point. We saw this in our formative years in high school, and you said it was nice light fare, and you did have a sampling of light fare back in the day. Like if you didn't want to see something serious, Born on the 4th of July, a drama, you could go see Mannequin, or you could go see Police Academy. I'm not saying those movies are good. In fact, I'm not saying they are at all. But it was at least not something you had to sink your teeth into. And I talk about movies at school a lot, and I ask, what are you guys watching this weekend? And they're always like, and again, I don't know anything about them. I haven't seen the movies, but like, well, Songs of a Killer Moon and Saltburn and Poor Things, and these are all like heavy things. And I'm glad that teenagers want to watch serious film, but can't we have like, I went to go see Aquaman, and it wasn't great. Like the new Aquaman, it wasn't great, but it was whatever. Like I had fun with it. It was fine. Like perfect, no, but it's not. Why do I have to? Everything is so serious. Why so serious? To quote the Joker. Like I'm not saying we have to go back to Police Academy, but everything is so dour, and kids don't want to see the stuff that's light fare anymore. They want to see something that's like this really all this deep, heavy stuff, and it's just like why? Like mix it in. Like mix in some.
I think it causes ratings.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with the rating system now.
Okay.
And I don't know. And it can also become like a trend. Like I've seen a lot of movies go like viral on different platforms.
Yeah.
And then I'll watch it and I'm like, that's not really for me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I like heavy topics, but sometimes I think movies are made now with the intention of, let's try to make one very intense scene so then everyone on the internet can start talking about it. I feel like if they start making a lighthearted, goofy movie, it doesn't do as good anymore.
Right.
And that's unfortunate.
I think it'll come around. I think it's cyclical. Yeah. I think things just kind of come around. Like something will happen, like something about Mary, and then suddenly you'll just get a bunch of something about Marys. You know what I mean? And then, so anyway, sorry. All right, so that's neither here nor there. It's just a good point I wanted to bring up. Let's go to Mannequin. Trying this without my glasses. Excuse me. Mannequin came out in 1987. It's rated PG. Coming in at a 90 minutes. Ooh, PG. 90 minutes. This is a
that movie's not PG.
Hey, not for nothing. This is a canon film, and they're known for some garbage movies, and this is like above their pay grade.
This was canon because it wasn't on the it wasn't on the intro.
I'm looking at the trailer in IMDb as I'm looking at the information. I saw the Canon logo come up. Now, again, I cannot say here or there to that, but anyway. So, a young artist searching for his vocation makes a mannequin so perfect he falls in love with it. Finding the mannequin in a store window, he gets a job there, and his creation comes to life. Directed by Michael Gottlieb, written by Edward Rugoff and Michael Gottlieb, starring Andrew McCarthy, Kim Cattrall, Estelle Getty, James Spader, G.W. Bailey, Carol Davis, Steve Vinkovich, and Mishash Taylor. I don't think I'm leaving anybody off there. And so that's Mannequin. So let's get into the MVPs of this movie. How adorable is Andrew McCarthy? Mm-hmm. Let's expound upon how adorable Andrew McCarthy is. Why do you think he is so adorable? Anybody?
Well, you know what? Let's ask Jordan, because she is but really, like, age-wise, she's the newest to experiencing him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, from your generation, I want to know that question right there. I think that's a really good question for her first.
I don't know. I feel like I also have like a different taste in guys than like a lot of other people. I really like a good sense of humor.
Okay.
So I mean, he's also really cute. I like him, but I also don't. I'm like a huge Ducky fan too. So I always say that Blaine should have stuck with his mannequin girlfriend.
Okay.
Instead of trying to go after Molly Ray Walsh.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of my friends hate me for saying that, but
Ducky.
But yeah, I don't know. I think he's really cute.
You know what?
Okay.
Can I second on that for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Test audiences were upset in Pretty in Pink that Ducky didn't end up with her.
Yeah, I think it was a chemistry thing. I thought I read somewhere it was a chemistry thing between Molly and everybody, and it was just like, oh, that doesn't seem like it would really work out.
Okay.
But they wanted it. The people
I know.
I
would have wanted it. I would have been like, you better make them get together, guys.
Yeah.
It's just acting. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. So Melanie, do you think he's adorable in this, and B, why?
I think he's adorable. I think it's just because he's pretty innocent and like he just seems like he's an honest kind of a guy, like down to earth, and along with the Kim Cattrall thing, my God, who can't look at her and not think like she's absolutely gorgeous?
Well, beyond that, so let's get into the spirit of that, because to me, that's the saving grace of the film is their chemistry. I think you couldn't, whoever cast it, regardless of their, the quote unquote the beautiful people, the fact of the matter is their energy together works, and I'm trying to really dig into why, because he is a super lovable loser, and I don't mean loser in a bad way. He just can't find his thing. He can't find his niche. And so we see him go to these different jobs that he keeps getting fired for. And it is really funny where he says, pick up your paycheck. I'm fired. I'll pick up my paycheck. Like the fact that he knows the line, that he's not going to last very long at any job that he does, because he just wants to be a sculptor. But who the hell is going to, there's no way to get, artist, come on, you're going to make any money being an artist. So he has to find his niche to be an artist. And the fact of the matter is he is willing to work. You know what I mean? He's not like, woe is me, I can't find a job. Like he's trying to get out there, trying to find a job. He knows that he doesn't fit. So he's a misfit, but he's not Ducky misfit. He's
right. He has a girlfriend.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. And we forget about that. And we don't like her because she's giving him such a rash of shit about him not applying himself
and she's pretty and she has a good head on her shoulder. So it's not like she's like like you'd say, like a loser or anything. Like she's like, I think the reason why the chemistry works so good is because if you see in the beginning, she doesn't want to marry for not love. And she's looking for somebody that she connects with. And it seems like she's been around the world, even meeting Christopher Columbus and things like that. But she was looking for somebody that was like real, that, and that's what he is. He's a true, genuine type of a person, and that's what she wants. So I think that's why their chemistry works so good together. And then he's just fell in love with her while he was making her. So
I think his, what the hell, his character. I never remember names, guys. What's his friggin' name?
Oh God. Oh,
Jonathan. Jesus Christ.
I'm like, it's right here.
God.
My middle name.
Oh, that's right. Jonathan. Here's Jonathan. So Jonathan is looking for that thing in life to find the joy in life. Right now he's trying to whittle his way and make his way to find that thing that he finds joy in. He just knows he likes art. He doesn't really does he have joy with his girlfriend? Probably not. And even if they stayed together, they probably would have split apart because she's not a joyful person. And he is a joyful person. He finds the humor and the simplicity and the joy in simple things. Kim Cattrall. Now we got to get into this bit. So this confused me. Her character is very joyful. She wants to suck the marrow of life. Now, we know that she gets, and this is the bananas part of the movie, she gets teleported out of her body into time for reasons because she is about to get put into an arranged marriage. Am I saying that correctly? Just magical bullshit, and boom, and that's fine. It's a romance. It's fantasy. It doesn't matter. I don't need a reason as to why that happens. It's fine. I mean, I know I'm a curmudgeonly old bastard, but like I don't need an explanation for everything. So she's
there's other times why
reasons. It doesn't fucking matter.
Move on. Right.
So she's in the timeline now. When we meet her the first time, and subsequently through the movie, when they start, she shows him how to find joy in all these little things, right? In the time that they have together, and the silly things, and being happy, and allowing. How about allowing yourself to be happy? Well, she wasn't happy in Egypt. And when we meet her, we don't know that she's, refresh my memory, we don't know that she's gone through time and been with Chris. Do we know that when she first appears to him?
Maybe not, but like at the same time, if you are watching the animated sequence, you are seeing her interact with others.
Fair enough. Okay. All right.
In an animated manner. It's not crystal clear, but it's there. So like if you back it up, if you were to watch it again, you'd see.
Apologies for that. So again, I don't clearly remember. So let me
you could easily just be lost in the animation, just going
right.
boppity bop. They're putting people's names, boppity bop, hurry up, get to the story. So you might not even be watching that. So it'd be easy to miss.
Ruthless People did a cartoon intro as well, if I remember properly.
It's possible.
Anyway, let me get to my point. When we first meet her, she has a very young, joyful, almost young adolescent energy to her. Everything is amazing. Not unlike Daryl Hannah in Splash, but not to that degree. Everything is amazing. The fact that she's alive and walking around and able to experience the future is amazing. Okay, so the question is, does she think, and this is, again, it's a stupid question, I don't know, but is she just happy to be in modern times because she's out of her arranged marriage? Or is she happy because she has seen all these different eras in time and has finally come to the realization that time is precious and that you have to make the best of it?
Jordan?
I mean, I think a little bit of both
Okay.
of it. I think she's seen so much. Maybe she's even ready to just jump on into it. Maybe she's, met all these guys she's never felt really a good connection to. And then that's why when she met Jonathan, it was just like, oh, like I really like this guy. I think that we click.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really, met a guy in the past
Mm-hmm.
who's, treated me well or anything like this. But I don't know. I think it could be a little bit of both.
Okay, it's just curious because you could approach it both ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's just happy to not be in Egypt, or she has a literally millennia of experience, and now here's a new thing she hasn't seen yet. And immediately, I'm going to go have some fun because who knows how long I'm going to be here for or whatever. Anybody else want to comment on that? Because to me, it informs their relationship, right? That's why they're so good together. I'm sorry, Jay, go ahead.
No, sorry. Every pause, I thought you were done.
I know, I just don't shut up.
No, it's fine. No, but I think she's happy with each opportunity.
Okay.
Like, because it's like, obviously the last one didn't work, but here I go again. I get another shot.
Yeah.
At finding love, so it's like, like anybody, of course she's experiencing something that nobody experienced, but I'm saying like, if somebody were to be dating, the next one probably seems really exciting. Like when you're starting,
sure.
Like, you know what I mean? So you don't know. So you're like, oh, this is going to be great. And why not have that attitude?
Sure.
So I think she's happy, obviously, to not be in that situation anymore and that she appreciates life more.
Okay.
I think because she's gone through so many different time zones, or however you want to say it, and experienced so many different people. And I think she really is happy as to where she is right now and to who she's met, like Jordan said. But also, I feel like she also likes where she is. Like that's why, like the whole, like we were talking about, like the dance sequences and the montages and stuff. Like she's having so much fun.
Awesome.
Like in this day and time, like she's like, oh my God, this is so cool. Look at the mall and shopping, all these clothes. Like, let's have fun. Like, I think she's like, she really likes this time where she is. And I think she really just kind of also fell in love with him while he was making her, because he took so long making her, and listened to him talk. And, I think it's all of it. I think she's just super happy, and she appreciates life more than the average person because she has seen so much and gone through so much trying to find the right time to live and the right person to be with.
Okay, so that's some magical bullshit right there.
Picky,
That's some magical bullshit. So when she's being created, she's not in the mannequin yet. But at some point, when she's wood, she's in the mannequin, but can hear everything that's going on. Is that what we're copping to here?
Yes, she does. Yes.
So when she's a mannequin, she knows what's going on. So at one point, was she split in half with no limbs? That's all I'm saying. And does she feel that shit? I'm just throwing it out there.
Soul that's in her, not the body part necessarily.
You know what I mean?
It's her soul.
Okay.
Leave it to Chris.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, Chris.
Just dropping the bomb on Mannequin.
Like maybe her spirit is like inside of the mannequins, but I don't think, if she could feel anything, don't you think she would just in the mannequin like get up and just like move or anything?
Well, no.
So I kind of feel like
that's the curse, man. She can't move.
It's just in there.
But on the other side,
You know what's cool about her?
yeah, yes.
I like the way she's
her skin temperature is cool.
show.
Sorry.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm serious about this though. I love, like, she's so used to what's happening to her that she's bopping backwards going, oh, you can't see me. like, or nobody could see me but you. And she's like, talk to them.
Yeah.
like, she's still okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like, hey, not my call. Talk to the people upstairs.
But
I just thought it was kind of cool.
So spoiler alert, at some point, there's a big and again, we jump all around, but there's a big thing with the girlfriend is jealous of the mannequin. The girlfriend, Jonathan's girlfriend, who they're on the outs because he realizes he's no good for her. She's toxic, and that he's going to be him, which is a great theme of the music of the movie. I'm going to be me. I don't care if people see me riding around Philadelphia with a motorcycle and a mannequin on the back, which is again weird, but whatever. That's not the point. You be you. You love what you love, whatever. But at some point, the stakes, which only come up, the dire stakes, which only really come up at the end, is that she's going to be crushed in a wood chipper or some trash compactor thingy. Now, guys,
every department store has a shredder for giant bulk items like mannequins.
Right, of course. So if she actually made it into there and got chopped up, wouldn't she just teleport somewhere else down the timeline? I mean, are those really stakes? Like, what made her jump into this mannequin from another time? If she were in danger, wouldn't her curse make her have to jump to some other inanimate object and another part of the timeline if the mannequin got destroyed?
Well, that's true, but she could disappear. She could end up somewhere else, and she doesn't want. They're already in love with each other. They don't want to be anywhere. Who knows what would happen to her if that happened? She could end up somewhere else.
All right.
Where she's happy with where she is now and who she's with. You never know what could happen.
I guess the romantic side of me did not get onto that. So thank you, Melanie, for straightening me out. I guess that kind of makes sense. The stakes are not death, not eternal damnation or eternal non-existence, but I won't be with Andrew McCarthy. And on a daily basis, I wonder what my life would be without Andrew McCarthy. Sorry.
I don't know, Jordan. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with all of you guys. I mean, I don't really have anything else to add. Though.
Okay, that's cool.
No, that's fine.
That's cool. What we can add to this, again, going into our 80s lexicon, hold on, let me just get his name. Hold, please. G.W. Bailey, Felix, the security guard. Does he have to play a cop? Like, is that his deal?
Yeah.
Like, is this in his contract somewhere that says I must play a stodgy, over-exuberant police officer, even if I'm...
I wonder if there's a casting person that was involved in both, because they were both in Police Academy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Forgot about that. Yeah.
Kim Cattrall. She was in the first one, and he was a bunch of them.
Yeah, it says Kim Cattrall and G.W. Bailey were both in Police Academy in 1984. When was this movie made? 1987?
87.
I think something like that, yeah.
Is this movie...
So they knew each other.
Is this movie before Golden Girls?
No, I think it's at the same time.
Same time. All right, so Estelle Getty...
So it was actually... We were actually going, holy crap, they said she was younger.
Yeah.
Because, she plays the oldest one in the Golden Girls.
Right.
Yeah.
And
she's fantastic.
Saw her for the first time. Oh, yeah, great.
She's so cute.
She's
like, don't mess with this old broad or old lady.
In fact, you got to see her look behave younger than the old mom that she played. So it was kind of refreshing. Like, oh wow, look at what a good actress she is.
Yeah, but she still has that 80-year-old energy when it tells that guy to cram it.
Well, you can only make her so young. I didn't say she looked young.
No, but it's the same. It's the same. Imagine it, Sicily, 1935. Like it's the same energy, which I appreciate. What about James Spader? I mean, this is like 80s yearbook here. Tell me about James Spader.
Well,
I think at first I didn't think he was in it until I watched it for the second time, and I was like, oh my god!
He looks so different and plays such a different character than you've ever seen him in, ever.
Well, I mean, she brought up Pretty in Pink.
Yeah.
Look at what he looked like in Pretty in Pink.
He looked good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he had his hair's out here. You know what I mean? He's like the slick, cool jerk.
Yeah.
I feel like he looks different in a lot of things. He does. Right? He was in Jack is Back, right?
I was going to ask you if you saw that.
Yes,
I
saw that a couple months ago. I loved it.
I do too.
God.
I love it. I watched it not that long ago myself. I had already seen it before that, but yeah, I love it. I'm so glad you saw it.
What in the hell is Jack is Back? What are you talking about?
I assume it's Jack the Ripper.
You have to watch. It's about him and he has a twin brother, and his twin brother gets murdered, and then he's like, "Oh my god, I just had a dream about who did it," and it's really good.
When is this?
It was in the 90s, right?
I thought it was late 80s. I thought it was like 89. It could be like 91. I don't know.
Okay.
I just watched it because it looked good and he was in it. I didn't.
All I was thinking was that terrible Robin Williams movie, Jack. With Bill Cosby in it, unfortunately. Okay, so
well, he still kept going with his career, though. He was in the Blacklist for many, many years.
Yeah.
And he eats up the
1988,
scenery.
Jordan.
Yes. So late
1988. Just a year after this.
Wow.
And he looks a lot older. I think maybe because he plays an older. He plays somebody in like his 20s. Yeah.
He looks so much
Anybody
older.
seen Nightbreed?
Top, isn't he?
Anybody seen
I haven't.
Nightbreed, Clive Barker movie?
I think you and I saw it in the theater.
It reminds me of.
I think we saw it in the theater.
You know the guy that it's David Cronenberg, the guy that puts a leather mask on with a zipper. He's like the big bad guy in it. Like in this movie, never mind. The monsters are nice and the people are actually evil. And David Cronenberg, it's really good. It's messed up, but David Cronenberg plays a serial killer in it, and he's dressed. He gives me. James Spader in this movie gives me those vibes because he's got those glasses and got this slick back hair. Obviously not as creepy as that. He's not a serial killer, but he's certainly that creepy. So let's get back to GW, whatever his face is, GW Police Academy. So he says some pretty horrible things in the movie. And I mean, again, we're not supposed to like him. And he says
I would never hold up now. Never.
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
he can do any of that
but Andrew McCarthy does deal with him pretty well. I think in terms of the horrible things that he has to say.
Called him a bigot.
Yeah, he's a bigot and he's racist and he did whatever.
Yeah. No, but you know what? I would say for 1987, that's pretty progressive.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That they had him say, could have been worse. Could have stuck me with a bigoted jerk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so they called out how bad he was.
Right. But now let's take a step back. And then we have the actor who plays Hollywood. And, I
didn't say it.
Yeah, no. But Jay, my point is, no. My point is I'm glad they have the character who's like saying, well, that's not funny. You're a bigoted jerk. And he stands up to that fact. And we're not supposed to think what he's saying is funny. But on the other side, the movie is presenting to us this archetype of two things that, again, at what point, and this is the thing of the 80s, and Melanie, and you and Melanie talked about this the other day, like, wow, these movies are so whitewashed. Real Genius is so whitewashed. And if it's not whitewashed, the people that aren't white males are kind of slotted into these roles that are stereotypical. And here we have Hollywood, who is African American, but is not in the gay community. He's not a gay man. So does he do a good job or not? And it always makes, whenever I see stuff like this, again, I'm not going to say he shouldn't have been cast, because I always think about The Birdcage, right? Where we have three main actors and only one of them is gay, but three of them are supposed to be gay. But one of them is Robin Williams, and obviously not a bigot and not narrow-minded. And the other one's Hank Azaria, also not narrow-minded. So when we cast people, are we casting them because you see the weird fine line we're treading here a little bit? Like, why not just get a gay actor? You know? Like, there are plenty. Like, why not just get a gay actor? Well, would a gay actor not act like Hollywood? And so what are we saying about that? I'm not saying my opinion. I'm just saying what is the movie? What is the time saying about that character? Because it's iffy. Am I wrong?
You were saying something?
I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Well, I just think Hollywood's just like a really flamboyant character.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like at the time, I don't know, maybe nobody auditioned for the role that was. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the situation.
I know it's a slippery slope.
I love Hollywood as a character. I don't know too much about the actor.
Yeah.
But I really like Hollywood as a character.
Sure, I do too. I'm not saying I don't, and I'm not saying that it's. Again, I can't say that because I'm not in the community, but it's just like I wonder how people react to that. That's what I wonder. Like, why not just get are we helping things or are we not helping things with that stereotype? Is it supposed to be funny? Are we poking fun at this or are we embracing it? And I don't know. Like, that's the thing I wonder about when I see stuff like this. Like, how are we making fun of it or are we embracing it? And I'm not sure. That's all I'm saying. Jason, what are you going to say?
I don't know. I know you love the character, though. It's like you're made to love.
Oh, sure.
The character.
He's not despicable. He's fun. He's fun to be with. But what, like that to me is a weird line that doesn't exist anymore. Right. That's all. That's all I'm saying about that. Jason, what did you want to say?
Well, first off, how many flamboyant gay actors were there?
I know. See, that's the other thing.
Or even out.
Right.
Shall we say? Let's not even say existing.
Yep.
Let's say out.
Sure.
Like, it was still a very tough time.
Yep.
To be gay.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
So, like, it's not like I can't imagine the line would have been long.
Sure. Maybe. Yeah.
Lining up.
Good point.
You know, so, and you know, of course, you could say the times, you know, were what they were, and that's the, you know, so you can say that there's flaws there with the character, maybe if you want, you know, because of maybe the over the top aspect, but you know, some people can be over the top.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So, but he was like fun over the top.
Sure.
See, you watched him, and you saw how he behaved, and obviously, I don't know anybody like him, so he became almost like a cartoon character. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was, you know what I mean? He had the sunglasses. Not only did he have sunglasses,
Jordan's got to have those sunglasses.
Eyelashes. They had eyelashes.
All right.
Yeah. I don't have them with me, though. I think I left them at home, but I do. I got them up in a shop in New York City. They're actually like supposed to be Gucci sunglasses. I think Gucci recently came out with a new pair, but the one that he's wearing, I don't know if it is, but I do have those glasses. They're ones that look really similar, and they have like little spikes right here. Yeah. And they're all decked out and like faux diamonds. It's really cute.
Right. And then he puts on the car cover that's got polka dots all over. I mean, like, it's just so, and I don't know. It's almost like a fun
character. That's the way I look at it.
Absolutely.
I want to be clear. I am
enjoy.
I am on his side, and he was fun to watch. And I'm not like, oh, I don't want that character. That is the opposite. 180 degrees away from my attitudes. All I'm saying is the reason I'm bringing it up, not to be a Debbie Downer, is that part of why you watch Mannequin or these movies and that stuff comes up is that it opens up the conversation about how it was and how it is now. And I'm not saying there's an answer, but it does open the conversation. Like, what were the decisions behind making that character and compared to what would have happened now? That's all. That's all I'm saying. And it's interesting. Again, movies are indicative of the times. Movies are indicative of how we feel at the time. And Jason kind of cemented my point, like, well, it wasn't as easy back in the day, right? And that's not good, but it's worth having the conversation about. So it's just something to reflect on. I'm not looking for an answer. It's just something to reflect on that the movie makes you kind of think about that didn't make you think about in 1987. That's all.
Right. Yeah. And then they also, it wasn't just G.W. Bailey's character that had a bad word. It was that woman that when they're all listening in to the dressing room, she says the fairy. You know, so it's like, so yeah, it obviously, I didn't say it was flawless.
Yeah, no, I know.
when I said it's progressive, I just meant had this been 3 years prior or 4 years prior, you might not even had Jonathan defending him. Yeah. The way he did.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I mean, that was already pretty good.
Yeah.
It was like for 1980.
No, I am not about editing. I am not about going back and like, erased Mannequin. What I'm saying is you keep it in there so you can have that discussion. You keep it in there so you can talk about it, right?
When you're talking about the end of the movie, what always bothered me is that guy just stood there next to the machine handle that could have just shut everything off. So even before the girl came out of there looking like she was alive and real, he saw that this guy was like desperately trying to fight to save something that was going to be destroyed. Yep. So even if it wasn't real and whatever the heck it was, I mean, God, it could have been anything. It could have been a doll. It could have been whatever. Who knows? It could have been anything. He knows that this guy wants something in there so bad that he doesn't want it to be destroyed, that he's risking his own life. So one, stop the machine so that the guy can save whatever it is that he wants to save. And also, the guy could end up falling in there by an accident and getting completely ripped up and shredded. So, he just stood there forever, and he literally only saw it when he saw a live girl. Well, what about the live guy that's in that path of getting destroyed as well? Like, that just, I can't think of anybody who could watch that part and not get so aggravated with that guy.
Well, I think what I saw, the way I looked at it, I think they were looking for combo of the angst that
Well,
Andrew
of course.
McCarthy
Yeah.
is going through, and
Yeah.
comic relief because he was so goofy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like he
And
had
then,
it
of course,
like
at the end when he's funny, when he starts looking through all the trash because he
right.
wants
He had a
himself.
goofy, like almost
Yeah.
Keystone Cop, like goofy security guy, like stupid
Yeah.
man
Yeah.
look to him, and I think they were looking to like mix. Don't forget, it's a comedy, folks. You know, like
Of
type
course,
of thing.
I know why they did it. It's just annoying when you're watching.
Oh,
the guy.
I know. I just meant like
Just
I think the way they set it up is they made
Yeah.
him so goofy.
Blood
that they
splatter
were
coming
like,
out the sides.
Let's not forget that this is a comedy. It's not too
Yeah.
serious. Don't worry too much. That's my only guess.
And then I just thought, like, one of my favorite parts was when his ex-girlfriend pushes that sleazeball that's always trying to have sex with her down the stairs, and then she just looks for a minute, and then she goes, "Oh, my camera!" That's just like, because he falls all the way down the stairs, and she's like, "My camera."
Guys, was that stairs or were those escalators?
That was stairs.
It was stairs? All right, because I'm like, if those are escalators, that man's dead. Escalators are no fun. I mean, oh my God. Hell, let's take a regular stairs and make him steal with teeth.
He was funny.
Yeah. And then also later on, after she agrees to have sex with him and they can't, and he was like, "This never happens." And then he says, he goes, "It's your fault. You're so cold." And then he goes, "Where can I get a mannequin?"
Oh God. And the answer
funny.
on the internet. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just thought that was funny. That's all.
not yet.
Yeah.
1987.
It's time for TMI with Melanie.
Listen to this. I am in the bathroom right before the movie starts. And I'm in the stall, and there's no toilet paper.
Mine are at home in a display case above my bed.
TMI, my friends.
It's just
TMI? Too much information.
Don't go there, but that's lame.
Now, here's Melanie with your timeless movie info.
All right, Melanie. Let's have it.
Okay. So the budget was $7.9 million, and it grossed $42.7 million, so that did pretty well. Director Michael Gottlieb got the idea for this movie when he was walking by a department store window and saw a mannequin move by itself. He realized it was an illusion caused by a combination of lights and shadows, and then began to wonder what would happen if a mannequin actually came to life. The department store used for Prince & Company is an actual department store. It is John Wanamaker's, which is now Macy's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The scenes for the rival store were filmed at Boscov's, a real-life department store in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. One of the original Emmy mannequins used in the movie was restored by the store, South Fellini, and is currently on display in their store, which is located in the Fashion District in the Center City, Philadelphia. Did you see that, Jordan?
I heard of it, but then I also heard people were saying, like, oh, it might not be the real one, or oh, it is. I hear mixed reviews on it, but I have visited Boscov's in Camp Hill quite a few years ago, just to see, like, the outside. And then I also went, in the summer to the Macy's, the Wanamaker building.
I think what they said was that her head and her torso was real, and then they had to restore other parts of her or something like that. But, like, there is mostly real.
Wow.
Before filming this movie, you got to go so you can get a picture with her. That'd be cute. Before filming this movie, Kim Cattrall spent 6 weeks posing for Santa Monica sculptor who captured her likeness. 6 mannequins, each with a different expression, were made. Cattrall later recalled that there's no way to play a mannequin except if you want to just sit there like a dummy. So I just did a lot of bodybuilding because I wanted to be as streamlined as possible. I wanted to match the mannequins as closely as I could. Originally, the lead was written as an older, lonely storekeeper with Dudley Moore in mind. When Andrew McCarthy came on board, the character was changed to be a young artist. The organ that Jonathan sits at is an actual organ in the John Wanamaker building in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and it is the largest operational pipe organ in the world.
What? Why?
Yeah.
What? Okay, whatever. Okay.
Why what? What?
Why would you put a pipe
where?
organ in a department store?
I don't know.
That's
but it's
ridiculous.
there.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, let's see. This is the second of the 3 movies featuring James Spader and Andrew McCarthy. They also starred together in Pretty in Pink, 86, and Less Than Zero, which I love, in 87. All 3 titles were released during 86 to 87. McCarthy would later on to go direct Spader in multiple episodes of The Blacklist in 2013. Andrew McCarthy wore bowling shoes throughout this movie. I looked and I did see him wearing bowling shoes because I read the trivia first. But before that, I swear to God, he was wearing white sneakers. So I don't know. Did you notice that? I saw the bowling shoes, but I thought I also saw white sneakers. So I'm not sure. Anyway, on a stage note, this is so weird. LSD researcher Jerry Kelly convinced himself that this movie was real. He was arrested multiple times for speaking and even at times groping and undressing mannequins at several different retail shops. Eventually, he admitted that it was not the LSD that led him to this.
Okay.
I'm sure it wasn't.
That's concerning. I hope he got the help he needed.
Yeah.
Yes, right?
Okay.
At least he didn't do it to people.
I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
that you know
saying,
of.
like, you know what I mean? Nobody.
And at least he didn't stalk. He could have stalked Kim Cattrall. Thank God he didn't. I mean, he could have.
That's what I'm saying. At least he went after mannequins. Like,
She's
I'm not trying to make a lot. What? Of course.
I said she is so gorgeous and she still looks beautiful. I think she's just absolutely.
Yeah,
like,
I think
striking.
she's in her early 70s. She looks great.
She looks amazing. She really does.
There we are.
It's time now for final judgment. Are you ready to rubber stamp this bitch? Here's the final judgment.
It's time for fact, not opinion. Or opinion, not fact. It's up to you. All right, what is it? Is it real?
Yeah.
Like the mannequin?
God.
All right. Is it live or is it Memorex? Chris.
Oh, hi. Okay, so I will say, just on a side note, this movie is so... You know how you put your hand in wax and then you pull the hand out and it's just dripping? It's dripping, right? When you do that. Mm-hmm. This movie is dripping like that of the 80s. And as a result, and now Jordan, that's your bag. I was not digging this movie for that reason. So many montages, so many 80s things, like the whole idea that you can find happiness buying shit or going to places to buy shit is so 80s. And for that, I wasn't digging it. Now, it's not about me digging it. It's whether or not it holds up. I would say it doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up because it's so dripping in the 80s. Now, I'm not even talking about the lack of internet or cell phones or whatever. It's just so 80s because of the things I just mentioned. The incessant use of montages, again, finding happiness in retail, the fact that you can go from a store dresser to the vice president of the store, and these store owners seem like they're kings of their own little countries. So all of that it just doesn't hold up for that reason. I will say this though, you could remake this movie, right, and still make it light. Doesn't have to be serious like we were talking about before. You can still make it light, but I challenge you to get the chemistry, to rekindle the chemistry between Andrew McCarthy and Kim Cattrall. I don't think it's possible. So for that, any remake of this in more modern terms would be a failure because I think it's going to be very difficult to capture that. So I enjoyed watching them quite a bit. The rest of the movie doesn't hold up and I didn't like it. All right, that's all.
I want to go next. Just because you said the retail therapy. I have to tell you, it is retail therapy. It is a real thing.
Okay.
I know people that have lost people and they go through retail therapy because it's something that makes them happy temporarily. Yeah. I remember growing up, I was there when I used to go to the mall all the time and save all my money to go there, and it made me happy as shit to get a brand new pair of boots. And they were usually like with friends or something back then or whatever, or wait for my grandmother to give me money for Christmas so I could go get that little fringe jacket or the little whatever back then. Like that was such happy days back then doing something like that. If somebody wins the lottery, the first thing they do is like, okay, let's go buy stuff right now. And then you get over it and whatever. But it's the mall was fun back then, and it is. I like that part of the 80s movies because I think it's fun.
Yeah, I am not usurping your joy. It's just that, and I'm glad that makes you happy. It just seems like whenever you watch a retrospective of the 80s, that's one of the things they bring up. Like people just buying stuff for no reason. That's all.
Malls were huge.
Yeah, sure. I know.
But malls were so big back then. It was such a huge thing.
All right.
That's what everybody did. They went to the mall.
All right.
So anyway, I want to say that I've always loved the movie. I do think it has. I always loved it, but I had Emma watch it finally recently, but she was trying to do like a project at the same time, so she couldn't really pay attention to it. But the beginning I felt was a little bit slow this time watching it.
Okay.
Getting up to all the good stuff. Where he meets her and she comes to life and all that. So I thought the beginning was a little bit slower. And I couldn't wait for Emma to see all the good stuff because she's just kind of watching it. I'm like, it gets better. I'm telling you.
I swear.
Hang on to it. But I loved it, and you almost want to tear up at the end when they get married. And I love it.
They're
I love
very
the movie.
sweet.
It's adorable and cute. Yeah, and I think that I would like people to see it, to give it a try. Would it hold up today? Probably not. You know, they probably would have to remake it, and of course, with some of the lines that we were talking about, would not hold up. But I want to say I love it, but probably wouldn't hold up exactly the way it is right now. But I love it.
Great. Jason or Jordan?
Go ahead, Jordan.
Okay, so for me personally, I really do like the movie. It's like under my top 5 of movies. I don't know if it's because it's just goofy. I mean, the storyline is all over the place, but I think we all know that.
Yeah.
It's just a fun, like, lighthearted movie. I like to watch it whenever, you know, I'm bored or I just want to have something on in the background. I really like the soundtrack to it, and I don't know. I've just had.
I don't mind the last song. The stuff in the middle is just whoa. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't even remember the stuff in the middle. What's the stuff?
Just like the ambient music while they're like, it's just all that heavy synthesizer stuff. Okay. It just drives me crazy. But okay, sorry. Go ahead.
You're a big fan of the 80s.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think it's just a really fun movie, and I think the cast, I think they did a really good job hiring the cast, and definitely the chemistry between King Cattrall. You know, I think it holds up, but then again, I feel like you can't make that movie today and then expect it to gross as much money in the box office as it did back then. Yeah.
You could. I think it's all down to the chemistry of those two people, because you can make just as fantastical a film that's all over the place, but you want to watch it because of those two, and because they're so good.
Yeah.
That you'd need to match that, and that's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. That's going to be tough to do, in my opinion. That's only my humble opinion. Jason.
Okay, so obviously there are aspects of it that is wrong. You know, like that we pointed out, like like this just stuff. It's like, okay, but if you push that aside, I think it kind of does hold up. I just think it's clean looking. It looks really, really good. As far as like the way it was filmed, it doesn't look like it was, you know, like a lot of the stuff sometimes you'll watch it like, ooh, that's really grainy and
Last Dragon.
Right. Okay. So
I don't mind that I missed that one.
Oh God.
Right. No, you didn't.
Fucking terrible.
Except you know, the guest, he was cool. But anyways, no, but I just think, and the chemistry, the characters. I mean, I think everybody really like worked really hard, and I think it's almost like we need a light fare. Like it's almost like it fills a little hole. So like if somebody were to watch it, it's like, wow, I don't normally get to have this, you know, because everything always seems to be, you know, darker.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun.
Yeah, I'm down for fun. I think there needs to be more fun.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say it does. So
super.
All right. Yeah, that was awesome. Jordan, if you want to remind everybody all about your channel and everything, and I'll also put
definitely.
it at the bottom.
Okay, so my name is Jordan. I create all 80s content, and my TikTok is Can't Buy Me 80s, and my Instagram is Can't Buy Me 80s _.
Awesome. No, thank you so much for joining us. This was a blast, and I'd like to also thank Steve Lavoie for our vocal imaging, and Draco and the Malfoys for our theme song. And on the behalf of Melanie and Chris, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. And movies may not age like fine wine, but we drink it anyway.